Hey guys, welcome back to another Snakebite Orc update. Now, some of these might look like they've not had a lot done to them, and that's kind of because they haven't. But I'll go through what I've done since the last video. This guy, this goblin or grot or Gretchen snotling on a squig, I think is just about done. Honestly, what I've ended up doing with his hat here is just kind of a squig. It's a dead squig, and the Gretchen has kind of made a hat out of it and taken his teeth out. That's why he looks so sad. And I have to make his other leg kind of wrap around as well, and that'll be him on top. I think that'll be him then basically ready to go for painting. Let me just get that. That's a bit better. I have to finish up his base, put some mushrooms here, and these are some puffballs as well, which are some kind of old orc lore. They're kind of a different kind of fungus that seems to grow around orcs as well. So I'm kind of going back into the old lore and having a bit of fun kind of digging out some little different types of squigs and just for inspiration of different things to make that has some basis in the lore. So that's him nearly done, nearly ready to go to painting. This guy, I think, is actually coming along pretty cool. I'm really liking his pose, his attitude. Now, this is still put together with some blue tack, and you'll see he's got a bit of work done to his helmet here. My orc boys kind of have mohawks. The idea is to kind of use the tufts as their hair squigs, and kind of give them kind of a mohawk look. Like this one test boy that I made. So I think the Mega Nobs would do something similar with their helmets. So he's got this really cool kind of mohawk, spiky bits made up there on the top there. And I've also given him some eyebrows just because I think it'll make him look meaner. And pretty cool as well. And he's got this big custom shooter here with 3 barrels. And maybe I'll put a squig here. I'm not sure. I'm thinking maybe to put some kind of... It looks like it's a spring-loaded grabber stick for squigs, so it could shoot out and then grab a squig and bring it back in, and it could be used as a power claw. I don't know, it could be quite cool. I am kind of thinking about maybe doing some kind of big dead squig shoulder pads as well, but I'll see about that. I'm not 100% sure. Maybe I'll do it on one side, maybe I'll do it on two. I'm not sure. And he will probably get a pole as well, because all the old snake bites seem to have poles. But I'm really liking his pose and his kind of his chunkiness and his, I know, something to do with the attitude of it, the angle of his head as well looks really cool, I think. This guy is actually nearly ready for paint as well. I have to do his banner and what else? Do his base. I have to figure out what kind of size base to put on him, because he kind of I just kept making him without thinking what he could be really used for. I think I mentioned this in other videos, as well as, what he's really suitable for, but it's just a bit of fun in it. That's the basic idea there for the banner. Do some kind of snakebite stuff, maybe more squig inspired. Maybe I'll change it up that they're snakebites clan, but they're like squig bites or squig herders, or come up with a cool name like that. Let me see. But I think I'll use the iconography for snake bites as well, just because it kind of works. So it'll be something like that. I think that'll look pretty cool. Happy with him. I'll go to this guy next. So this is kind of a little bit of a standstill, because like I was saying again in the last video, I'm not really sure what the direction to go in, but I am liking these tusks at the front. I think I'll have to go with them just because they're sweet, and I think they're very orky. I built up the kind of barrier going along the way, little kind of ramshackle looking. I'm not sure what to do here on the sides, because it would make sense for spikes to come out to stop people from attacking and climbing up, which I could do, but maybe it's a bit too logical. Maybe just some spiky jagged pieces of metal and that kind of thing for some kind of sparse armor here, kind of random armor or cover barriers for the guys in the front or on the actual platform itself. But yeah, I think I'll stick with the tusk idea. I'm just putting a bit of texture on them at the moment, and then I'll put a banner here and some kind of barrier here. I think that'll work. I'll be happy enough with that. Now in the back here, this has been chunked up a little bit, and I have to put some rivets on it, so it makes it a little bit more substantial. This guy is just on with blue tack as well. He has got a grab a stick in progress, because I think it just makes sense, and he's got a little squig on his head there, but it's kind of a bird squig. He's got his tongue hanging out there, and he's kind of got... first off, it was going to just be a squig with a beak, but it turned into this kind of little bird guy. He's got little feathers, and his claws are kind of hidden, behind the ears, so I might actually get away with not having to sculpt those, which is kind of funny. Just the way I positioned it, I just got myself out of that situation. And some kind of, I'll do something with the grabber here, grab a stick, because it makes sense. And then he's got this other little squid guy in the back, just because I think he's kind of cute, and I'll add him in. The guys on the back here, nothing's really been done to them, apart from I might use this fox box bits hand or arm just for this guy, because I think it makes sense. That'd be kind of cool. And it's coming along. It's coming along. I'm already thinking about the next one I want to make, the next squig otter, squig beast, big squig beast. But I'm going to stick and finish that one first, because otherwise, like everybody knows, I'll get nothing actually finished. Now, next up, this is kind of what I've been doing, having some fun, putting together some boys. Let me see. So these guys are kind of a mix of the Savage Uruk boys kit and little 40k bits and green stuff and that kind of stuff. So let's see, this guy, what's he got? Yeah, so this guy's actually ready for priming, I'm pretty sure. I just put on some of that crackle paint stuff to add some more texture to bits and bobs. He's got his mushrooms on his base. I wanted him jumping up into the air, and I had a bit of sprue here to raise him up and put him at an angle, but then I ended up just turning the sprue into some kind of squiggy beast. He looks a bit squiggy. He's got a big long tail. No specific breed of squig or anything like that. Just some kind of weird squig beast on the ground just to fit it all back in. And he's also got the squig on his shoulder, and he's got a lot of movement, and he's jumping up in the air. I purposely put the slug at an angle to make it look like he wasn't actually shooting it. He was just like shooting it at anybody. He was just shooting it up in the air just for sound. And he's got his little squig buddy there on his shoulder, so that should be kind of a fun one. When it's all painted up, I think it'll look well. Then this guy is something similar again, but he's got a skull bolted to his head, because why not? His head is kind of at an angle, that's why his tongue is sticking at an angle, but it doesn't bother me. Shoulder pad, or this kind of shoulder piece of squig hide with some scales in it, which is really handy because I can just do that anywhere that I don't want to have to fill in any details. I can just put some squig hide over it, like any connections, like here as well. That's the same thing. This is from the Blood Bowl kit of the ogres and nobblers that I got, and it's actually just a ball, but I thought it looked like a spiky rock, so he has that as a kind of a club weapon. And as well as Sluggy here with some teeth on it for whatever reason. He's jumping up as well off something, but this guy's got a little squig then on his base, just with a little horn on his head. That's one that I made a good while ago, and his base is just textured up with bits and bobs, stones, what you call this stuff, coconut fiber, yeah, crackle paint, cork, and he's got some little mushrooms as well. That should be fun to paint up and have them nice and colourful. They all seem to have squigs on them, most of them anyway. So those two are ready for priming. So this is some really, really slow progress, as you can see. I'm not kind of flying through boys or anything like that trying to get them done. It's literally like I'm having a bit of fun putting each one together in different special ways. This guy, he's nearly good to go. I have to add on a squig somewhere. Maybe I'll just put one like, I don't know, maybe I'll put one going up his leg or on his shoulder again, or on his weapon, or on his belt there. He doesn't actually wear a belt. Who had the one on his belt? This guy had two little guys on his belt here. These are little eating squigs. So they're like little grubs, but they have little, actually quite soft detail. I didn't go into any crazy effort with them with sculpting, but I thought they were so small, and just a little detail on his waist there for some snacks. So maybe he'll get something similar. I'll figure something out. But you'll see here, yeah, the combination of old bits and kits like this, was from, I think, like an eBay lot of some rescued orcs, and I might add some twine onto him as well, just to add more texture somewhere. But yeah, he's pretty cool. He's nearly good to go. This guy as well, kind of an older model. So this is obviously the body of a 40k orc. What else bits? These are Warhammer Fantasy old model orcs. I think their arms are actually kind of bigger. You'll see his proportions are a bit uneven, but look, I think orcs are pretty uneven. I don't really worry about it. Got a little sack here that might have some nibbly bits of squigs to eat later, teeth. This guy is the one that got the Nasher squig on his chopper here. So, and some extra spikes just for killiness. And his slug is a bit custom as well. I might put some twine on him, and I think he's nearly ready to go. Maybe one or two mushrooms on his base, and he's good to go. Same with this guy, he needs some base detail. And this guy then, last up, is a shooter boy that I was kind of experimenting with how to combine the Shooter Boy arms with the Savage Uruk or Savage Orc body, because they're different kind of connections at the shoulders here. So as you can see, I just kind of cheated and put a load of this is just paper with some Mod Podge on it to harden it, and that will it's gone quite dark for some reason. Hopefully you can see okay. That will give me kind of a solid enough area to build up some texture with some green stuff for scales or anything like that. And in his mouth here, he originally had a bone, but that's going to be a squig. He's going to be eating a squig, or like holding a squig in his mouth as well. And I carved out his eye for some reason as well, but I will put that back in. I don't know why I did that. And obviously the custom shooter here, or just put a bit of an axe blade on it as well, and he's same again, he's just blue tacked on it so I can figure out his pose. But yeah, look guys, that's it. I'm still tipping away at it. Having a lot of fun doing the boys this week, and hopefully I'll make some more steps on this guy. Once I stick in, I have to texture up those tusks, then I'll stick them in, probably hot glue them in and build up over that, and get this guy finally done, because I think once I have it sprayed, there's something about the spray that really just brings it all together, and do zenithal and all that, and it'll look really cool. I'm thinking of maybe putting some kind of mats here, because this was all going to be textured like metal boards with bolts and rivets all over it. But I think I might just put some squig hide mats on it, and I can paint it with different like stripes or dots, or even do some kind of scale texture and that kind of thing. As well as I could do like a squig mat, like you might have a bear mat or something like that in front of your fire in the 1940s, I don't know, something like that, if you're have a mansion. But yeah, that's the idea. Maybe that'll work out, but just to differ up the texture and bring it back to their more kind of squig side. They use squigs for as much as they can, use the whole buffalo type idea, but yeah, look, that's it. As I go, it keeps changing. What else? Oh yeah, look, this guy is someone in my last video. I had asked a question about do orcs have nipples, and because obviously these ogre models have nipples, what to do about that, and they were like, okay, yeah, obviously squig bikini is the way to go, but this guy, he's not nursing the squig exactly. The squig is he's like a baby crocodile with Johnny Knoxville. He's nipping on his nipples. So that's the plan. I don't know. Maybe he'll have a bit of armor on this side. I don't know. But this guy's got a squig nibbling on. Actually, look, he's got one on his ear as well. Yeah, cool. Okay, this guy's just been eaten by squigs. And I gave him a bigger toot here. Just, why not? Okay, guys, that's it. That's kind of my snake bites for now. I'll be back with another video when I've done enough that I feel like it's enough for an update. Let me know what you think, and I'll get some paint on these boys probably and keep going with the squig art, and I'll be back. Okay, cheers, good luck.